Hi! I want to go back very quickly to explain the money triangle. Every money transaction, there is me, there is money, and there's a merchant. I can manage me only because I can't manage the merchant and I can't manage money. And last time we said, what about me am I going to manage? That's what we're going to talk about. The A, B, C's. So it's important that we understand that money is not something that we could be focusing on. It's merely the means to the end. So it's not money that you want. You want food, you want clothing, you want transportation, you want stuff. And money is the means to get it. So what you and I need to look at is, what are we going to manage in the transaction to prevent us from just responding to merchants? And I suggest the first thing we have to look at is our attitude. Our attitude is our worldview. It's what we believe. You see, if you believe a credit card is a source of funding, you're going to borrow against your credit card and you're going to be in big trouble. If you believe that a credit card is for convenience only, which is what it is, then you won't be in such big trouble. If you believe that you should decide and not the merchant when to spend, how much to spend, then you're not going to be in big trouble. I suggest that the attitude, you see, the challenge that we face is that we do not appreciate that the attitude, what we believe, leads to how we behave. And what we believe, how we behave, and also source of choices. How do we choose? And today we choose based on what we hear on TV, based on what we see in stores. What we must understand is that the merchant has studied our behavior and know when we're going to respond, how we're going to respond, and also why we respond certain ways. And they create goods and services and entice us to buy what we don't need using money that they advance to us. Did you get that? The merchant uses the bridge, the money, as a means to get us to buy products we don't need, can't afford. So I'm suggesting that we need to develop the right attitude to spending. And how do we go about getting that attitude? Many times it's how we were brought up. It's what we heard, what we saw at home. And that could be good and that could be bad. And I'm suggesting that we ought to look at what is it we believe is the appropriate attitude that will keep us out of debt. And I suggest that we start by agreeing that we should not borrow except to buy a home. We should save to buy everything else. If you think about it, the things that got you into debt, if you're in debt, were not stuff that you needed. It was stuff that you chose to buy at a specific time rather than wait. Sometimes it's stuff that we don't even need. I believe as a Christian, the right attitude is we see in the Bible. Jesus says in Luke 12:15, watch out. Be on your guard against all forms of greed. A man's life does not consist in the abundance of his possessions. And often, greed is what moves us. The other issue, we don't apply the faith that we have. We don't really believe that God is going to provide for us. In Matthew 6:33, Jesus says, seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things, food, clothing, and life, will be given to you as well. And I pray that we will focus on the attitude of Christ and pray that the behavior will flow from that attitude and will prevent us from borrowing and getting deep into debt to buy things that we don't need and we cannot afford. Thank you so much for inviting me into your home. Goodbye.